Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Garrett, and we're your hosts of Modern Gaze. On today's episode, we're talking about past connections and dealing with what could be very awkward encounters. When we have experiences in life and connections that we've built along the way, a lot of those are quite meaningful, complicated, beautiful, and disgustingly terrible. And we most likely will run into these people quite a bit.
Again and again.
And what we do in those moments says a lot about us, a lot about them, and a lot about our culture in general on what is socially acceptable and what is better for our mental health, what's better for their health, what's better for everyone involved. It's quite complicated, and I think it's different every single time. So throughout this talk, we're going to be sharing some personal experiences, some very recent, and some things that we feel like maybe we could have done a bit better.
Girl, I am loving this Ariana album.
Especially We Can't Be Friends.
I mean, that was what inspired us for today's episode. And I think everyone on Instagram is like, thank God I'm not going through a breakup right now. Otherwise, this song would just be hitting completely different. So, of course, I'm going to ask you, what are your top 3 favorite songs from the new Eternal Sunshine album?
Oh, that's hard.
3.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. The Boy's Mine.
Yep.
And I would still have to say We Can't Be Friends.
Oh my God, those are my top 3 as well.
Oh, twins.
If I had to say that I would remove one of them, it would be Bye, and I would replace it with Yes and. Or even Supernatural. I actually like Supernatural.
Even True Story. They're all good. They're all good. What can we say?
True Story is like badass vibes. It's giving me like Dangerous Woman. When she did like Dangerous Woman, that was the track. Like that album was so good.
Did you not shed a tear in that one scene in We Can't Be Friends in her music video where she's clasping onto the necklace and she's like, can I just keep this one, please?
My mouth was wide open. I was goop gagged and smacked down.
Obviously, Ariana now is an actress. She's going to win an Academy Award. I can see it happening.
I can't wait to watch Wicked.
But that emotional scene in that part of the music video was so real to me because it just felt like you really knew what she was feeling in that moment when she was referencing the person, whoever that was, that she wrote that song about, whether it was Mac Miller or someone else. And
I think we can all relate to that, right? Where we've all been through a scenario in life where we've had to let go of someone in our life, whether it was a family member, a friend, a lover, some form of a connection that we really had to remove them from our brain because they were taking up too much space.
It's almost like a Black Mirror episode where you go to a doctor and have them selectively remove the memories that you need to be removed for you to be able to move on or for you to feel like more mentally clear or healthy. And like, I don't know, like a lot of people have a very hard time getting over breakups or
someone
ends of friendships or lost opportunities or
the loss of a person.
Yeah. And I think that music video, it just hit me really hard. I just thought it was really, really beautiful, bittersweet, melancholic, but like real.
Right.
Real
I think for me, it actually takes me back. It's a bit nostalgic for me, right? It kind of takes me back down memory lane of when I had to let go of people in my life. And I listened to the song and I'm like, I'm in a good place now. Like I'm not sad, but it takes me back into the feels of remembering what it's like to let somebody go.
And that's what music does. Music is so incredible in that way because
I love music.
It just really makes you go through those memories and feel those feels, and also gives you kind of some clarity of like where you're at now, and you have all this growth and you're in a new experience now, but it's also like that time still holds value
100%
and still hits you in a certain way, and that doesn't have to disappear, right?
Yeah.
But with today's episode, I think that the idea of running into people, or
we always run into people,
whether it's someone that you broke up with, dated, were used to be friends, like had some kind of falling out, grew apart, or maybe you know them from social media on Instagram, but you don't really know them, but you think you know them, and you've maybe had some lots of conversations, but then you get to a point of like, okay, do I say hello? Do I not say hello? Do I nod? Do I completely ignore them?
I always go through this situation.
And I think everyone does. And I know that when you're going to the same place every day, you have a routine. Maybe there are other people.
Club.
Another club.
People.
Bus. Plane.
Oh, that song just reminds me of Willow Pill's I Hate People. Oh, so relevant right now. I hate people.
Sometimes I think we all hate people, but the people that I never get sick of and that I never hate are the people that listen to this show and that leave us a review on any of the podcast platforms that they may be streaming us on. So everyone out there, thank you for listening to Modern Gaze. Please like, follow, subscribe, and tune into Instagram and Threads to follow along the conversation.
And we can be friends. Thanks. Us gays, we just know how to do stuff.
Well, what about modern gays?
That's easy. Modern gays do everything.
So I have a saying, and I don't know if this is offensive or not, but I've always said it.
You have something offensive to say? I'm shocked.
I would say they're Sicilian dead to me.
Sicilian dead to you?
If I'm like over someone, or if I never want to see them again, or if they have, literally gotten to my absolute last nerve, I'd be like, boy, bye.
Right.
And you would literally never see me again.
But that's because you're a Scorpio.
And then I go, okay, like they're Sicilian dead to me.
Right.
And I don't even know what that means. I should probably have Googled that before saying that.
I don't know that's
on
offensive.
Podcast. But I just thought it was maybe like, it was really a definitive like Sicilian mafia like scenario where you're like, I will never see you again. Like they disappeared or I disappeared.
I think we should move on from the Sicilians.
Okay.
Joyce, maybe we should just make some pasta sauce. It might be a bit better.
A good nice Sicilian spicy pasta.
And then sausage. It's a very nice.
But I honestly maybe lean into my Scorpio a bit in that way.
You're a Sicilian Scorpio. Wow.
And well, I have an Italian background. So there you go.
Yeah.
So I think that with past connections that have done me wrong, I disappear.
Interesting. I don't disappear. I keep giving these motherfucking people a chance.
Well, I did
again
that.
and again.
Well, I've done that, and that's why I got to the point of disappearing.
But no, there's no disappearing. There's just like,
oh, you just let it go.
Just constantly like, I'm like, hi, I'm here.
Well, aren't you the Aries? Like they love the fire. They love the confrontation and the drama.
Yeah, but Aries just always have to be right. So I have to just keep trying until I get what I want.
Right.
So that's what it is.
Maybe you're better at like reconciliation then as a side effect of that.
Yeah, I just can't pinpoint a moment in my life where I have been done wrong by someone so badly to the point that if I had seen them out again in person that I would ignore them.
Oh, I can. 100%.
For me?
No, for me.
Right.
Yeah, for me, 100%.
I can tell because your eyes are very wide open and dilated right now. Girl, relax. Sure.
Well, on a lighter note of that scenario, I feel that we also have and always are interested in building a community, wanting to make gay friends, to meet other like-minded individuals and creative souls that we see that we like, that we value, that we can see us being friends with or having a friendship with, right? And then we like build a relationship online because it's like, I really like what you posted about this. And then you start a chat with a group of friends and it's completely platonic. It's very, innocent and it's reciprocated. And then you see that person in real life.
They don't know who you are.
They've never seen you.
You're like a foreign species.
And it's also kind of your fault as well, because it's not like you're going up to that person and saying like, hi. It's like you're waiting for that perfect moment of mutual recognition where you can both nod at each other and be like, oh, I know you, but from where? Oh, I know you from where? Oh, this is from exactly where we know each other. Let's be friends now. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. That's why Ariana wrote, we can't be friends. Because it just doesn't happen. And it's so difficult for people to get to that point because like, I know for myself, I will acknowledge a lot of people that whether we've connected on social media or whether we've connected through friends of friends before at another party or whether we saw someone out again and again and again. But it can't be one-sided, right? Like I can't continue to acknowledge your freaking existence, look at you to the point where it becomes odd and then you get nothing back from the person. So you give up.
You know what I do now?
What do you do?
When I meet new people through friends that we've hung out with and maybe have met other groups of friends through these friends, right? I never ever say at the end when saying goodbye, I never say it was nice to meet you.
Oh,
I never say that.
because it shuts it off.
No. I say, it was nice seeing you. It was nice seeing you again.
Like, because you're going to see them again and again.
I'm going to see you again, but also it doesn't shut off. It doesn't close the door. So maybe I met them before, but I don't remember them. Or maybe they knew us through social media or Instagram or something, and they felt like they knew our story or they saw some development of something.
Right.
When I see them, I'm like, oh, it's so nice to see you. It's like, even when I'm meeting them, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Nice. It's like the perfect statement because it's open. It's an open-minded statement of the present.
Wow.
You're not talking about the past or the future. You're talking about the present. And you're talking about, it's nice to see you, like right now.
I just run away. I just ghost them. Bye, girl. I'm like, I went and got like another drink, or I just left to go home to bed.
No, but seriously speaking,
it's
a great tactic and something to employ when meeting new people and saying goodbye to people that you may or may not have met and you're not sure.
It was nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Yeah, because it's very open.
Because then when you see them again, it's nice to see you again.
Correct.
And again and again and again.
And then even if you never met them before and you say that, they're like, oh, I should have remembered you from the first time.
I know, but you know why?
Because then they're like,
there's
nothing did I meet
worse.
them before?
I hate it when someone comes up to me and they say to me, it's nice to see you again. And I'm like, fuck, when did I see you last? And what's your name?
No, you just you respond back. It was nice to see you again.
Obviously,
as well.
I do that, but my brain is like running like rapid fire 100 miles an hour, trying to pinpoint the puzzle pieces of where I know this person from.
But what I also think is happening is like the brain synapses are firing and they're going like, oh, fuck. Okay, I need to really remember this person. I need to take in what I'm seeing, how they've treated me, or the conversations that we've had.
Right.
Like it's being kind of lodged in your long-term memory.
Yeah. Well, I think what's really difficult about making these meaningful connections with people, whether it's in person, on social media, on dating apps, wherever it might be, and then not acknowledging their existence, or after it has ended, not being friends or just even being amicable to the point where you can say hello to someone, is that it gets in their inner circle and the word gets spread a little bit and it becomes a bit of like,
telephone
spread of
telephone,
like, down the line, like domino effect of, oh, Garrett is this,
what I heard,
Daniel is this, and they're like that. Oh my God. And then you have a bad reputation. Bad reputation. I love that album.
Taylor Swift doesn't give no shits to the reputation. So
but the point is, correct. But the point is that within the community, then you have this reputation, or they have this stigma towards you that you are this person.
Okay. So before you dive in too deep, I want to talk about the different types of connections that we have, because it's different from, a romantic relationship. It's different from like a hookup, some kind of like sexual encounter that you've had, right? Or it is an old friend. Like maybe you had like a falling out because they thought you were bitchy gay. Like you don't know the scenario exactly, but it's different between every single person and every style of relationship that you may have.
Right.
So even if it's an ex-partner, ex-friend, one-time hookup, social media app acquaintance, it's different. You know what I mean? So I think for, relationships, let's start with like the hardcore one that is probably the most complicated. I feel like you either end it on like good terms, it's either mutual or reciprocated, or it's like not that best, or it's pretty bad.
Right.
And depending on those circumstances is I would imagine how you would react when you see that person.
Yeah. I
know that like when I was dating, like way back in the day before we met, I feel like I handled a lot of those post relationship, whether it was a breakup or just kind of like a dissipation, like we never really broke up. It just never became one thing or another. Like I didn't handle a lot of those really well. And one of them in particular, I actually fucked up pretty bad. And I genuinely didn't know how to have the conversation. I was like, I'm just not that into you. And I just don't feel like you're that into me, or we're not into each other. And I didn't know how to do that. So I just ghosted,
right.
And I did that terribly. And then I saw them, I think probably about a year later with my friends at Mickey's in West Hollywood. And they were like staring right at me with daggers. Like it was just like laser beams going right through me. And I instantly felt terrible and disgusting. And then after maybe like 3 more cocktails, I actually had the confidence to like go up to that person and be like, I'm sorry. So I did. I ended up like going up to them and being like, I'm so sorry. But on the opposite side of that, I had a reawakening later in my life, like before I met you, and I cleaned house. Literally cleaned house.
You cleaned the house.
I cleaned the house of all the friendships I didn't really want. I cleaned the house of the relationship I didn't need.
You did.
I really flipped my life in 180 degrees, and I was brutal.
Yeah, you did it real quick.
Very brutal.
You did it all. You're literally all or nothing person.
I honestly felt it was like the most healing, and it gave me so much clarity, and I cut out a lot of really negative space in my life that wasn't really giving me the joy and happiness and fulfillment that I really wanted and needed at that point.
They were not filling up the cup.
No, and it wasn't necessarily that they were bad people or bad friends. They didn't really show up in the way that I needed them to show up.
They weren't serving your purpose.
And I laid it out to them, and I was like, this is the scenario. And I didn't even give them options. I was just basically like, I'm basically like ending our friendship and I'm walking away. And these are the reasons. And
This is the reason. What is the reason?
But seriously, and it was actually really therapeutic.
Yeah.
And I guess like, yes, I could have dealt with it in a different way, with being much more, like you said, like dealing with it and like finding clarity and like getting to be right in the end. But I was just like, I don't have to be right. I just want to really move on.
Right.
I don't know. Like, what about you? Like when you think about pre-us,
Yes.
and you think of the relationships where you've broken up with them or they've broken up with you, you know, how did you end it in the way that, did you leave it open for communication? Because I definitely did not.
I always shut them down because I always got the, if I ended it, they were like, oh, maybe we can be friends still, or we can still stay in touch. And at that point in my life, I always said no because I didn't need extra friends. I didn't need anyone else in my circle. I had good friends. I had a lot of friends. Friends are a lot of work. So I was like, I'm good. Like we're just done. So, and it's really odd because now I think coming back to Australia and moving back to Melbourne and still seeing some of those people every day, whether we go to the gym or whether we go out to clubs or bars or any social settings or parties, they're there and they don't acknowledge my existence at all. And I feel it. And it doesn't hurt, but it's just kind of like, why you got to be like that for?
Real. Okay. Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm like, I have no animosity towards anybody, but I'm like, why are you treating me like a piece of shit?
Right.
Like, that's how I feel.
So I think
I'm like, I'm a human. We had a connection. It didn't work. Like, you can say hello. You can at least look at me and smile with your headphones on.
Right. So that was my next thing, is that what is the etiquette in those scenarios? And I know that like for me, I didn't say hi before either because I felt hurt.
Right.
That I wasn't like able to, like, I didn't deal with it and I still felt that. Or I genuinely didn't see them.
I think if you can't
So
ignore...
I think it's out of hurt that they don't say hi.
That's what I was just going to say. They still have to have feelings
There's some
about
kind
the
of
situation.
animosity, or there's some issue that they still are dealing with.
It's unresolved.
You're ready to say hello.
Yeah.
And you don't get what you want because they're focusing on what they want,
But
and that's not what
sweetie,
they want.
it was 10 years ago, darling. And it was maybe 2 dates. We didn't even pull our pants down.
Well,
Like,
maybe they just don't feel like a need to say hello to you.
I mean, they don't know it. We don't owe anybody anything, right? Like, that's the thing. They don't owe us anything. We don't owe them anything.
You also went to the solarium for 7 hours a day. You were like 17 shades darker. Maybe they just don't recognize you.
Girl, don't be coming for me like that.
I mean,
Maybe they don't recognize me, but they do recognize me. I'll tell you why. Because they're looking at you,
right?
And they're making eye contact with you.
Yeah,
they know you, and they're also talking to other people who are probably talking about you. So it's just this like bitchy gay, mean gay mentality.
Oh, let's have a little side moment right now.
Okay,
ready?
Yes.
Bitchy gays.
Bitchy gays, Carl.
So,
Bye.
So
Boy,
let me just talk about it, right? It's a stereotype. I think that there's a lot of people that have very, huge right and reason to be a bitch. And I think that
Are you a busy bitch?
I think you can be a busy bitch. I think you can work bitch. You can be a boss bitch.
You can slay bitch.
I love my bitches.
I love it.
I just love the word bitch.
I know. I love the word bitch too.
But something about being a mean gay or a bitchy gay is a bit different. And if it's funny it's only funny for so long.
Right.
You know, it's like, I don't know. I feel like everyone has like a bitchy gay friend.
Right. You also have like the mean gays of Instagram, right? Like you have those two guys like Aaron
those
Goldenberg
guys.
and they like do these whole videos and it's amazing.
They're funny.
It's hilarious.
Well, they're comedians. They're actors. Like I get it. That's actually like the skit.
But they're actually taking the piss out of
correct.
the mean gays.
And they're having a joke about our own community. Right. And it's coming from within the community.
Correct.
So it's funny.
Around how people behave. But when people do comedic skits around behavior, it's typically because it's negative.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
we make a light, like
today, right? We're at the gym.
Oh my God, yes.
And our gym, our gym's big and there's a lot of like people
huge.
in there working on their fitness.
They are working on pumping the muscle.
And there's all different types of people on all different types of journeys. And there are definitely like the people who know what they are fucking doing.
Yes.
They are fit as fuck.
Yes.
And they are literally the motivation of the entire gym.
That's why
everyone's just like, okay. But you can tell like there's all these big, massive guys and women who are like so fit and they're so confident, but they just exude that kind of cool confidence. And you know that they know what they're doing.
Energy.
It's boss bitch energy and you respect them and you see them every day.
I like it.
It's giving and I love it.
Yeah.
But then there are the bitchy gays.
The bitchy gays
fit gays
arrive with their bags, with their short shorts.
They are literally walking through the entire gym with their nose held up so fucking high. And they are like staring at you, but like they're like basically saying, fuck you.
Basically, I'm better than you.
And it's very, very aggressive energy. And you can tell the difference. And I'm telling you, I don't know if we have any friends that are listening to this that go to the same gym.
I'm sorry.
Please pay attention because you're going to
come up to us
this.
and say hi, girl.
But sometimes I think, are we the bitchy gays?
Can I say something? I actually think I might be perceived as a bitchy gay at the gym. I'll tell you why. Because I have Ariana Grande playing, or I have like Tay-Tay playing, or like some heavy metal remix towards these pop songs. And I'm just strutting, you know, like I'm strutting. I'm like not looking at anybody. I'm just grabbing.
Like feeling the lyrics.
I'm feeling the lyrics. I'm like doing a bit of a dance. I'm a dancer, so I'm strutting, right? Mm. And people probably think, look at this fucking bitch. You know, like who does he think he is? Like, come on, dude. So I don't know. Like I think but I'll smile at people. Like I won't be a bitch and ignore somebody.
Let's talk about these, I guess, casual acquaintances, right? We see people over and over and over again.
Yes.
Whether it's through our routine or where we're going, or it's like the gym or the coffee shop or at work or whatever. And you literally know them at this point. You should be able to say hello or nod or wink or like something, you know? And it doesn't happen that often. And I feel like it's maybe...
It's ego.
Is it ego?
It's ego. Has to be. People want their ego stroked, soft and supple. You know, they want it caressed. And if it's not validated, or if they don't feel...
Maybe it's just because like they just want to get their shit done and their focus. So what do you do in these scenarios where you have to decide, do I say hello or do I not say hello?
I mean, that's a bare minimum.
Right.
And if you don't even want to say hello, just like give it a little smile.
Something.
Give an acknowledgement.
Maybe it's like what you want. Like what everyone says, treat others as you want to be treated.
Correct. And you don't know where that might lead. You might become lifelong besties.
The amount of times that I have said hi or have acknowledged someone and have been completely and utterly ignored, I'm actually flabbergasted. But at the same time, I still keep trying to do it. And that's more difficult. And it gets more and more difficult.
Yeah.
But I still try to just give the energy that I want back.
Right.
So even like this morning, like I literally probably see the same, 3 or 4 people every morning. And I'm like, I said hello. One of them said hello back, and 3 of them were like, just pretended they didn't hear me.
Someone has to make the first step, because if neither party comes to the party and initiates something, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. So I think somebody has to make a step and see where it goes. Take a chance.
Take a chance on me.
Yeah, why not? Take a chance. Take a chance.
What's that?
That's ABBA.
ABBA?
Yeah. Take a chance, 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 take a chance.
Okay.
Anyway. And then she sings, if I change your mind, I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Not really. Take a chance on me.
Hey.
So she says, take a chance on me.
Okay, so I'm going to take a chance.
Right.
And I'm going to
What are you going to do?
keep doing what I'm fucking doing and not get jaded. Because I feel like you can easily become jaded when you are trying to build connection and you especially have like those almost connections, like
Right.
they're almost friends or almost acquaintances. I understand, being a Scorpio, I like to protect myself. I like to hold my cards close and I don't let that many people in. But at the same time, I try to be open to initiate that and those early connections of friendship. But
how do you do that?
I say hello. I entertain conversations that I don't necessarily know where they're going to go.
Right.
I try to carry conversations when I can. Like I don't like awkward moments.
Yep.
So I seek out similarities and I try to build an environment that the other person that I'm talking to feels comfortable with. I could have nothing in common with someone and I'll assume positive intent and be like, okay, there has to be some similarities. Like I'm going to go dig and I'm going to find them. So I feel like in that way, I openly and outwardly try to understand people or build interpersonal connections. But at the same time, I'll only do that once.
Yeah, I know. Once a week. Maybe once a month if you're lucky.
Like that's very exhausting to me to do that.
Right.
I enjoy doing it, but at the same time, I don't get my energy from meeting new people. I deplete my energy from being with new people.
See, I get my energy from meeting new people.
I get my energy from myself and from you and from my tight network. That's why I get my energy.
But to get that tight
network. And I love spending my energy. I love doing that. I love being around people and like being with friends and going out and being like as extroverted as I possibly can. But that depletes my energy. It doesn't build me up. And I think that builds you up. I think you love being out and about.
Oh, I love that.
That's where and then
that's when I'm thriving.
You
girl.
Spend that energy being more self-reflective and like more mindful and use that to be more inward. I'm inward to go outward.
Yeah, I'm outward to go inward.
Yeah. So what can we really do, I think, as a gay community to foster more inclusion and more awareness around how we treat people from our past? Because you know what? Those relationships that we have built, I feel, are incredibly special because they're very rare. And we also have, I feel like, an additional level of consideration and thinking that goes involved, like becomes involved with being like a queer or gay person.
Right.
Where you really work hard to build connection. And when you finally get it and then lose it, how we act in those post-connection relationships, I feel like is just as important as the beginning and during.
Yeah. I just think everything doesn't have to be a distant memory. And I think we don't need to remove everything completely from our mind.
Right.
I think we can be respectful. I think we can acknowledge one another. I think we can treat each other with more decency because at the end of the day, we're all human. We all want love. We all want validation. We all want connection. And I think ignoring people and treating people a certain way isn't going to drive a community that's one. Period. I don't think you need to foster and build on the relationship though. I think you just need to acknowledge and respect and be a decent human being.
You can honor what it was.
What it was, and not be bitter towards it unless they freaking cheated on you or did something really bad behind your back. Then I'm not saying to be nice to somebody. But
maybe that's where our previous episode, Radical Optimism, comes in.
Right.
Because even in those negative situations or even in the relationships, and whether they be romantic or friendship based, there's value and there's something positive in all of it. So I'm going to wrap up today's episode with just a simple idea of when you see a past connection, just give them a good head nod.
I love a good head nod.
Just a good head nod.
Is it time for a head nod now?
How's your head?
No complaints. So give a good head nod and walk away.
Keep building the vibrant life you want by owning your authentic self
and giving a good head nod.